Hey everybody, for this video, we're going to talk about for loops, but more specifically, for item in list. So we have two lists here, one for menu items, one for prices. We got the name and the price for each of those. Now we can just go ahead and print out a list just by doing print and then the name of the list. And then we get burgers, fries, ribs, and baked potatoes. So all fine there. It does what we needed to do, but we have a bracket, we have quotes, we have a comma. It's all nice to do in debugging when we're trying to find errors in our code. We just want to print it out really quick. We just do print the list. But in production, we probably want to do a for loop to make it look really nice. In this one, we don't always need the index, even though last time we used an index and we have it down here. And then we'll find out what zip means in a little bit. So let's get rid of this one. And we have for I in range down here. And when we run it, we get burger, fries, ribs, and baked potato, just everything we have here. Because we're going to the end of the list, which is the length of the list, and then we're printing out each item from it. For this one, whenever we use range, I ends up being 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as we go on through the loop. But we don't always need the index. It's not always important. So there might be an easier way to do things. And the answer to that is pretty much with Python, there's easier ways of doing things. So for this one, we're going to do for item in menu items. And then we're just going to do a print and we'll do f string and we'll do item. Now, just so you know, this is a variable name. It can be any word you want it to be. It can't be one of these keywords or these special words though. But like up here, like I can be anything too. This can be anything else, so item. But the nice thing is that when we name our lists with plurals, it's nice to have this be singular because inside of the menu items, we're getting a single item. So it works out really well. Then we're gonna go ahead and run this and we get burger, fries, ribs, and baked potato still. So this did work. As we go through, item is not gonna be 0, 1, or 2 like up here. It's going to look something like this is what basically happens. Item gets set to burger and then we print it out and then item gets set to fries. So all this is happening in the background, makes it a lot easier for us to work with. We don't have to have this bracket and I thing. We don't have to worry about using this function called len. This looks super clean. So this is a good idea to use this kind of for loop if we don't need an index. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and get rid of these, save some space on the right-hand side here. All right, so now we have this medium, and this is going to be working with both of these lists right here. And we're going to do for item in menu item again, or menu items. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use an f string, and we're going to print each item. So let's just make sure this works. Sure enough, good to go. Is our medium. And then if we want to do prices included in this, we can just go ahead and do price. And we can do comma prices. So here on the right-hand side of the in are the names of all of our lists. And on the left-hand side are the variables that we're making. Again, this could be like blah, anything you want, but it's good for it to be the singular version of this. Makes it a lot more readable. Then we can do price right here. Then we'll see what happens. And we get this value error, too many values to unpack. So if we ever get that, we're going to look at using this idea of zip. So this zip function takes two parameters in this case, which are both of our lists. And just by doing that, all is good. So now we get burger and $1.59, fries and $2.79, and it works just fine. The only problem with this is that it looks a little weird. Not terrible, but we can make it look better. And it's basically, it's going to be exactly the same as what we had here. Let's copy it down here. And we're going to have it so, let's just make sure this works still. Now after the item, so after the item name, we're going to want to make a bunch of space here. So after item, but inside the curly braces, we're going to do a colon and then a less than sign and the number of total spaces we want. between the item and the price, or after the item, you could say. Now, if we rerun this, now we get burger, $1.59. So this total space here is 15. So now we don't have to like manually calculate and do some math by saying, oh, this has this many letters, so we need this many spaces. We could totally do that, but it'd be kind of annoying to do. So we can just do this and say how many spaces we want. Change this to 20, rerun it. Now we get 20 spaces. So in this video, we learned that we can do for in and then the name of our list instead of using range. And if we want to do a single one, a single list and print it out, so we can give this a variable name and then the name of the list. But if we want to do two of them, we can do two variables here and then use the zip function with the names of the lists as parameters. You learn how to go through a for loop without using I, but sometimes it's nice to have both, an index and just going straight through a list. And you guys can do that with enumerate. Or if you don't know how to do it, you guys can use for I and range right there. All right, take care, everybody.